Let's see if we got it. I get this in the right direction here. It's my laptop in the background. Hey there. It's Angeline here. Today we're just going to be doing a quick watering and feeding of our plants because they are hungry. It's going to be raining today, so we're not going to be doing too much watering. This is how we're going to do it. Here you guys go. Just going to put you guys in our tripod real quick, and we're going to get these plants fed. So first, I'm just going to be adding the water to our garden. Then we're going to go outside and mix our fertilizer for our green stock. I just want to start with our nursery. It's just time efficient in that all I have to do is, because it has to sit. So today's a good day for gardening. Welcome, cultivators. Let's get started. Of course, we've done this step quite a few times. These are our plants in the nursery. Most likely than not, they're staying here today. I don't think anybody's ready to come out. And we're going to be adding in a few new plants. So just to check in, we have our celery. You know, it's very, everybody's down. Thyme. Well, we have a little bit of our root development here for the thyme. Oregano. Again, young. And lavender. Ooh, very happy about the lavender. But again, it's not really there yet. So what we're doing is we're going to add it, fill it up to the line. This is going to be our first and last thing we do today. Since we're live, I'm going to do this first so that it can be soaking while we make our mixture outside. You can add a little bit of plant food at this stage. However, usually I do it with a larger mix. So I'll have like this filled and mix and then pour it in. But we're just going to give these some food, some water, and then head out to our activities. I'm going to turn this in the other direction, but they're all growing, they're all leaning towards one direction. So this is how we water our nursery plants, and we have some new ones that we're going to add. We have some stevia. We have some bok choy that we're going to be planting. And we have some butterhead lettuce. Let's take this cover off. All right, so you let this soak for 5 minutes and let it absorb the water, and then we come back and take it out. But we do have some food to go into our garden, so let's get that done now. So we have this one. This is fresh. Both the gardens have names. You get to name them in the app. We have fresh. We have mint growing beyond the length it should be growing. So first I'm going to add some Hydro Boost. The Hydro Boost helps keep down the algae, helps any additional internal growth. It's just good helps keep the pH balance. The pH level balance. This is not actually a plant food. This is a water treatment. So it just helps keep the environment in good standings. So if you have filtered water, use one amount, and then if you have hard water, use the other amount. So we're going to put 2 teaspoons because we put 2 gallons of water in there earlier. We're just going to put 2 teaspoons in. Should have took this off earlier. So we got 1. The mint is here, really thriving. And 2. So I usually put about 1 teaspoon per gallon. Of course, when we do it, we refresh the tank. We put a whole new set in there. I see some roots living in there. So we got to go see whose roots those are. We always start on one adventure and end up on another. So as you can see, there are some roots. So you get a shot of that growing in the water. So one of these plants' roots have grown to the length where it is now growing inside of the water. So let's get it out. If I have to guess who, it looks like the mint, because the mint is growing very well. The dangerous thing about that is that, the mint, nothing. is that when the mints grow that long, when the roots grow all the way into the water, the whatever plant's in there eats all the food. So it eats the food, and then the plants around it do not get anything. Those roots look white, however, so it means they look like they're connected. They didn't just fall in there. However, I don't see any plants, any of this bottom row in there. And usually it wouldn't just, the plant wouldn't go straight down. The mint is still in its container. All right, well, we'll see. We'll have to, when we do our tank refresh in a few days, we'll see who roots those are, or if they just, one of the roots that we cut, if it just fell in. So we put our Hydro Boost to clean the water. Now we're gonna add our plant food, for our hydroponic plant food. This one, again, it is 1 tablespoon per gallon for blooming and fruiting plants. And as you can see, we have our fruits growing on this plant. We have our cucumbers. Everything's growing wonderfully. So I am going to add the two spoons. This is a new container. So that is 2 teaspoons per gallon. Let's take this off. So I added the water in earlier on our last video. I just didn't add the food in our last video. So we got 1 spoon in and 2. Sometimes the spoon doesn't empty or empties on the side. When this happens, what I do is I have some additional water to put in. So I usually put 1 gallon in. And then pour some water over it to anything that got stuck on the side. Rinse it out, rinse out the spoon. We don't waste anything. I can't put the whole gallon in because it should be full. There we go. So that's how we add our food. To our garden. Cover it back, make sure the moisture gets into it. So I cover it back, lock it, and we add our food in through there. Put the cover back on. There's a little bit of water. Have to wipe that later. All right, so let's now go to our green stalk. All right. So our green stalks are outside. It is definitely gonna rain. I wouldn't even say today, shortly. And we have our plants here that are growing that also need some food. So I'm using the same liquid soluble fertilizer, food for both of them. So we have our plant food here. And this is, well, I like to make sure nobody's muted. There we go. So we have our plant food here. We have our 2 gallon container here. So to get the right ratio of food to, we want plant food to water. What I like to do is use pre-measured water, so it makes it a lot easier, and then pour into the plant what's needed. So this is, give it a good shake. This is the Fox Farm Grow Big. This is a constant, it's a liquid plant food, and we are gonna add, I think it's 2 for 2 gallons. 2 to 3 tablespoons for regular feeding. So, I mean teaspoons. So we have our little teaspoon measurement here. And I'm gonna put in 2 for the 2 gallon and then repeat. So I'm gonna put 2 for our 2 gallons. Our green stalk over here we just put up. So it has the dissolvable plant food that probably hasn't dissolved. So we have 2 here. Now what I like to do is, when the food didn't get in, what I usually do is I put in the green stock. There we go. So we have our 2 spoons there. We're going to put it in the one outside. So as you know, this lemon one here was just set up. So we're not gonna add the food to this one, but we are gonna add the food to the one that's been out there, that's been up and hungry this whole time. So we have our right amount, our ratio, our correct amount of ratio of water to plant food. When we're over here, I don't feed the citrus plants because they also have, first of all, they're potted. So the food doesn't really come like drain out of them, but the food does, they have their own slow release food in there. And this one we have, our sorrel plants are growing very well. They may need some food today because they have not been fed ever. There's a fly on this one. So let's get some food for these plants. But this 2-gallon container is for this green stuff. We have a lot of fruiting plants going on here. Our cucumber is growing. So we're gonna get some food into this green stuff and some of the plants here. So that it is flowering. Our zucchini is developing. Let's get out some of these dry leaves that have gotten tangled up on the journey here. There's some leaves that we get very much tangled up. We don't want any tangles. We want everybody flowing free. The whole branch here, you can see it. Don't want to hurt the other plants, but let's get the dry ones out. Okay. And then we're going to add our water to the top here of our green stock, our 2 gallons. So as you know, the water comes back out the bottom. So I never added 2 gallons straight. What I do is I add about half of the water reservoir. To make sure everyone gets a little bit. So we're filling the reservoir up to about half. Make sure you guys can see how much is in there. We're doing about half container of water, and that's going to drain down. And while it's going down and draining down, then some of these other plants that are out here, we're going to add some water to them as well. So our pepper plant, which was transplanted from inside, definitely needs some food. So we're not adding enough water to like water the plant. We just want to we're adding some food to it. So we're just feeding it. So we're not doing a full watering like for a drink. Also, as you see, it's like this first thing in the morning, it is very gray outside and dark, and that's because it's going to be raining shortly. So we're just adding some food, giving everybody just a little bit of food. The soil comes with some food, but we got some food. This plant, it's time for it to be potted up. It's our pepper plant here. So we're not giving everyone enough for like a good drink. We just want to give them some food to eat, a good snack. So it's already been dissolved, so the water has the correct ratio. That's why I make sure I look at the water ratio first before I put it in here. The plants are in the soil all the way out there. They are in the soil, so they're fine. However, our pomegranate may benefit from a little bit of the one in the pot. May benefit from a little bit of food. Our tomato plant, it's been windy. We had a storm and our tomato plant fell down, and then the support broke with it, and then we had to get another support. We're trying to get that one back to good health because it's our big boy. But then we're gonna give it just a little bit of food also. This one does not have food, and as these who are directly in the soil, it's not getting that access. So we're just gonna give it a little bit to these plants here. These leaves are growing nice and large. Remember when these zucchini plants were so small? Now they grew up so much. And then our beans, the team came out. Our beans black beans here can use some food as well. So again, this is not but here once you've fed the plants out here, they're fine. The soil is rich in nutrients, so it's not a common thing. Hello, team. Hello, Adeline, part of the team. She got up. They were all taking their nap. Well, not taking their nap, sleeping. This is early in the morning, and it's not school's out, not in session. So this is how we feed. So again, these are our orange trees, our mango plants, our different citrus, our Meyer lemon plants. We are not going to be adding any food to them. We're only adding food to our like potted plants that haven't had food, just got transplanted from seedling into bigger pots, and of course our green stock that's over here. Now let's get some food into some of these plants that are inside. We're gonna add some food to some of these as well, because these also have not been getting any food. They definitely will be getting rain today, but they haven't been getting any food. All right, so we're gonna add some to this plant. This is an adult plant in a pot. Add a little bit of food mixture. This one wasn't a transplant from hydroponics. So some of the plants that came from the hydroponic system, where they're getting water with food in it every single day, I like to give them food a little more often. I'm here balancing on one hand. All right, so this pepper plant came from our hydroponic system. So definitely it can use some food. And that's how we feed them. Let's put a little bit in our younger plants. Definitely the ones in the cups aren't getting the food at all, getting fed at all. So they can use as a drop. Because we have our right concentration. And that's how we feed our plants. I do this ones in a pot a lot less often. The ones in the green stock, probably depending on what stage the plants are. So now it'll be every 2 weeks. Reason why I do it more often than the ones that are in the garden that are outside, because it's a vertical planter and the water kind of drips and then kind of goes into these tubes and comes out, and some of the soil comes out with it and some of the food comes out with it. So that's why we do not add too much food there. Oh, this is another hydroponic plant here. Our spinach. So let's add some food to our spinach. This one needs harvesting. It's kind of, we have a lot of new growth for the spinach, and the only ones are kind of like painting. So we gotta do some harvesting soon for our spinach plants. And then on this one, these plants just got here. I'm sure they're in soil. Slow release. It's still slow releasing. They're still getting acclimated to where they're at. So our celery is still adjusting. Our peppers haven't grown very well in there. So we've added, again, just the amount of food that we add. It's every 2 weeks for our green stalk, because the water is running vertical from top to bottom and then draining out of the top. The plants that are kind of in the soil has a lot of nutrients. And it is, so you just do it probably like once. The citrus in the pot also has some slow release, but again, that's like once or twice a year. But the hydroponic and our green stock, since it's flowing water that is watering those plants and they're planted vertical, they get a little more they get plant food more often. Well, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. I've been Angelina and the team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and check out our website, avgardening.com, for more planting and blog posts on our plants and our watering. Our watering instructions will be up shortly. So please visit us at avgardening.com. And thank you, Patreon, for being here. Angeline Verdon, Verdeant, for joining us. So thank you to the Patreon folks for being here. And I will see you guys next time. Remember to stay green always. And goodbye for now.